What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learnt. As you guys already know, day 70 as your world champions, even though it's like, it would be nice if we could play like them, you know, like even just handle games like we should, like world champions, but we don't seem to do that right now. We don't seem to be doing that right now. But big up to every single one of you that's locked in. 5 things we learnt. Although I don't really know what you could have learnt from something like that. With just the way that we threw the game away within 20 minutes. All of that game was just a straight car crash from start to finish. Where we just decided we were going to go to Old Trafford with some spades and just dig a hole for ourselves all game. That's basically what we did. But hey, still world champions, so we got that at the very least. But please, can you just play like it? You know, manage games like it. But here we are. Here we are. Another loss at Old Trafford. I swear I never want to see this ground again. I never want to see this fixture again. I don't know what happens to us when we go to Old Trafford. We just turn into idiots. I don't get it. I don't understand why every year they get worse and every year we don't capitalize on it and take 3 points at their ground. It's drove me nuts. Like this has probably been the most angry I have been all year, which takes some doing with some of the results that we saw towards the end of last season, especially like the 2-2 draw at Ipswich and all of that. Like I literally woke up today and just felt like just a stream of anger just materialize as soon as I woke up, because it was so avoidable, this result, and then it's just based off the back of our own naivety and our own stupidity. So like, I don't think this is 5 things we learned. This is 5 points of the game. Number 1, Enzo Maresca. I don't know what you planned for this game, but this might be the worst game I've seen managed from you. The decisions that you made, even trying to get anything from the game at 10 men, near impossible. Because I don't get why you go down to 10 men and like we should just forget to attack and just defend for our lives against the great Manchester United. Like this is the 2000s. This ain't the 2000s. This ain't even the 2010s. This ain't even the 21-22 United side that finished second. Like, oh no, 2021, sorry. But my point still stands. This is the worst Man United side in history. And we decide to just shit the bed and go all out defensive with the substitutes. Because we just took off all of our attacking ball carriers. We just took off all of our attacking width. No Neto, we're taking him off. Because we need to bring Tosin on because Chalobah's struggling aerially. Probably should have just started him in hindsight. I expected Tosin to start this game. Number 1, because he's our only good ball player out the back. And also, he's our best aerial threat. You know Sesko is a beast in the air. We all know this. He's 6'5" with an insane leap. And Chalobah's not the best in the air anyway. We know this. How did Tosin not start? So then that happens. We've taken off Esteval and Neto. So it's just João Pedro there by himself. And we're hoping he just does the whole Ankara Messi, immense Messi, goal. No, that's not going to happen by himself. And then we take Cole Palmer off because Cole Palmer had final tests before the game and Maresca saw that he wasn't at 100%. Now I am asking, why did he start? I know, the one thing I know with Maresca is that if you are not at 100%, he's likely not going to risk you. Why did you start him? Why couldn't you have just brought him off the bench like you did against Brentford? This is not a great Man United side. And then not only that, you have done that after you took Esteval and Neto off. I don't get it. Then we go 10v10, like we're already in a bad spot because we've taken Esteval and Neto off. And then the idea is to bring on Gusto, have him cover the entire left-hand side, and then we brought on Tyreek George in the middle. The Tyreek George or Garnacho or Gittins, I genuinely don't care. But I thought you'd see at least one of them coming off the left-hand side. Instead, like, no, it was Gusto coming off the left-hand side, which I don't get either. But I don't get anything that Maresca tried to do today. Today was probably the worst bit of game management I've seen from Maresca in his entire time at Chelsea, in all honesty. And so, yeah, here's another one that everyone thinks is just a Maresca agenda. 5 minutes in and all we've spoken about is the manager. But there's your first point. Second point. Can we start a game well for once? For once, I beg. Because for Palace, didn't start too well. Went 1-0 down and the goal got disallowed, thankfully. West Ham, we went 1-0 down. We turned it around because West Ham are garbage and like we should never have been 1-0 down in the first place. That was our best performance of the season. Fulham, didn't have a good first half. Went 1-0 down. The goal got disallowed. Brentford, horrible half. We go 1-0 down after 36 minutes. Bayern Munich, not even a bad first half, in all honesty. And it is Bayern Munich. Still went 1-0 down first half. But that is the one I'll allow a little bit more just based off the nature of the opposition. That and the fact that the first goal was just such a jammy load of BS with the drop ball. But that's a story for another day. And then Man United again, 1-0 down after 14 minutes. Yeah, okay, can we start a game well? Usually, we get better in the game and the game management kind of carries us through. But we need to get back to starting games well. Because we're not doing it. But here we are. Here we are. That's my second point. It's just another thing I've noticed. Like, we are really, like, we're always going 1-0 down. And then either getting saved by refereeing decisions or just having to come back from that point. Third, Robert Sanchez. I said this on my fan cam. I'm going to say this on here. You man who tried to tell me we could go a whole season again with Robert Sanchez after going through a whole season with him last season, you are tapped. You are smoking crack. You are smoking substances that are even more toxic than crack. I don't know how you thought another season with Sanchez was going to go by. Oh, but he had a couple of nice, good games and everything. Form is temporary and being a bum is permanent, and he is a bum. He is constantly a bozo. But because we minimize the amount of times we give him the ball now, people want to say he's turned the corner. This is why I told you I'll believe it when I see it over a long period of time. Not hearing it. Not hearing it at all. But the one thing I will say is Jorgensen don't look much better. He don't look much better. Which brings me perfectly into point 4. Winstanley and Stewart. You gave them a 6-year extension. 1.5 billion spent. The only centre-backs that we can rely on now are on a free. And Fofana, if God please, if he stays fit. Because he was one of the better bright sparks in that game for whatever it was worth. Even though he's not fully sharp yet. But that's by the by. 1.5 million spent for that. And for 2 goalkeepers that we can't rely on. Jorgensen still don't know when and how to claim crosses. And Sanchez is still a bozo. But you don't want to spend 20 million on Mike Mignon because he ain't got no resale value. But nah, let's go and spend 90 million on left wingers that this manager clearly still doesn't trust. Well done. Well done, mate. And a 0.5. You know what? 0.5 is just going to be where I just like give some players some praise. João Pedro, you did the best that you could with absolutely no support. So fair play, man. You can leave with your head held high. Caicedo, I thought you had a decent game. Santos, I thought you were a bright spark. He has to be given more minutes over Enzo at this point. He has to. Santos shows you the quality when he's on the pitch. The duel winning was good. The dribbling was good. There were some decent passes in his game. Again, give him some league starts. Why does Enzo have to start every game when he constantly looks out of it? I don't get it. Here we are, though. Reece, well done. Good game again. Good game again. I'm not hearing anyone tell me that Reece had a bad game either. Reece, Santos, João Pedro, Moises Caicedo. I'll probably throw Fofana in there as well, to be fair. Big up to you guys. Because, like, at least you lot showed up. The rest, It's what it is, though. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that shit. Horrid game. I hate Old Trafford. I hate Old Trafford with a burning passion. I hate this fixture with a burning passion. I'm so sick of going to Old Trafford and us just shitting the bed like this. But whatever. I'm going for some more drinks. Up the Chelsea.